I am the unappreciated true heiress in the tale of the genuine and the false, who unexpectedly acquires a system to alter the narrative. Each time, I am permitted to modify a single character of the original plot. Consequently, the storyline is utterly unraveled. The original text states, "The coldly elegant noblewoman gazed at me and remarked, 'You possess my bloodline. It is your fortune.' I altered fortune to misfortune and fervently nodded, saying, 'Indeed, I too find it rather unfortunate.' 1. Upon heeding my words, the countenance of all present turned pallid. The faux heiress, Lin Wan, cast a reproachful glance in my direction before affectionately linking arms with her mother. Mother merely spoke in a moment of agitation. 'Sister, you are being quite unreasonable.' The others nodded in agreement. 'Look at how understanding Wan Wan is. You ought to learn from your sister.' I clicked my tongue in disdain. I merely spoke the truth. 'Your lineage is undeniably inferior.' Lin's father charged towards me, raising his hand in a threat to strike, but he restrained himself, veins bulging on his forehead. 'Lin Qian, you truly are a product of the countryside, utterly uncultured. Upon returning home, I shall hire a tutor to teach you proper etiquette.' I was at a loss for words. Is this the quality of the affluent nowadays? Do you care to listen to your own barking? You look down upon country folk. Would you dare utter such words online? At that moment, a line of text flashed through my mind. Lin Wan, with her enchanting eyes, now shed 2 streams of tears. 'Sister, if you feel unhappy, you may vent your frustrations upon me. Please do not be angry with father.' After a moment's contemplation, I transformed tears into blood. Thus, a few drops of crimson cascaded from her delicate visage. The blood trickled down her pale cheeks, creating a haunting image reminiscent of a specter from a horror film. Oblivious to her own ghastly appearance, she continued to prattle on about trivial matters. Lin's father staggered back a few steps. 'A ghost!' Lin's mother exclaimed, pointing at her. Rendered speechless by fright, realizing something amiss, Lin Wan touched her face and let out a shriek. 'What has happened to me? I must go to the hospital.' Only then did they react, hastily escorting Lin Wan to the hospital, with me unceremoniously shoved into the car. At the hospital, the doctor examined the chart. Everything appears normal with the eyes. The bleeding is likely due to extreme emotional agitation. I wore a bemused smile. 'Sister, is my return truly such an overwhelming event for you?' 'No. I am genuinely happy for mother and father, and you.' Lin Wan's explanation sounded utterly feeble. Lin's parents exchanged disapproving glances with her. 'Even if your sister returns, we will treat you as our own daughter. Is it necessary for you to be so agitated that you forget all the manners you learned throughout your upbringing?' I could not suppress a laugh. To say such things in front of their biological daughter demonstrated their complete disregard for me. They glared at me in unison. 'Your sister is in this state because of you, and you dare to laugh. From now on, you must get along well with Wan Wan.' 'Understood,' I casually replied, crossing my legs nonchalantly. Altering the plot was far more enjoyable than I had anticipated. I had yet to tire of it. 2. Upon returning home, my eyes sparkled with excitement. 'So, this is the opulence of the Lin family.' Lin's mother pointed to a room with a dismissive air and declared, 'You shall reside there henceforth.' Lin Wan's tone was rife with disapproval, yet her eyes betrayed a sense of triumph. 'Mother, is it truly appropriate for sister to occupy the servants' quarters?' Lin's mother scoffed, coming from the countryside. 'Merely having a place to stay is already a privilege.' I chuckled coldly. I dashed straight to Lin Wan's room and leapt onto her bed. The mother-daughter duo quickly followed. Lin's mother nearly fainted at the sight of me. You are utterly lacking in decorum." Lin Wan supported her, her eyes brimming with tears, feigning a victimized demeanor. "Sister, if you genuinely desire my room, I could relinquish it to you." Lin's mother grasped her hand with concern. Wan, I will not allow you to suffer." "Mother." Wan. The display of maternal affection made me feel nauseous. Just as I prepared to force them out, the plot twisted once more. Lin Wan approached Lin Qian, ostensibly offering wise counsel while secretly pinching her fiercely. Instantly, a bruise blossomed upon her skin. I added a mother after her. Then, I eagerly awaited Lin's mother's reaction. Unsurprisingly, while Lin Wan spoke words to please Lin's mother, her hand eagerly reached for Lin Qian's arm. "Ah!" A blood-curdling scream pierced the air. "What on earth are you doing?" Lin's mother shouted, clutching her arm in anger. Lin Wan stood frozen, her face a mask of confusion. Mother, I truly do not know what came over me. I did not intend to pinch you. I raised an eyebrow. So, you intended to pinch me instead? Even if you harbor resentment towards Mother, you must not resort to violence. After all, she has raised you all these years without any blood ties. Walking the path of the green tea, let the green tea find no way to escape. Lin's mother was greatly disappointed. Is this true, Wanwan? No, that is not the case. She stammered, unable to articulate a coherent thought. Lin's mother departed, leaving behind a parting remark. Wanwan, since Qianqian's return, you no longer seem the same understanding girl. The room was left with just the two of us. Lin Wan dropped her pretense, glaring at me with venomous intent. What of your biological ties? Sooner or later, I will expel you from the Lin family. I responded with a derisive smile. I assure you, I have no desire for the Lin family. She continued to glare fiercely. I kindly reminded her, you might want to appease your mother promptly. Otherwise, she may truly cast you out. It was only then that she hurriedly ran off. I concealed my smile. In the original narrative, Lin Wan had persistently schemed against me, with Lin's parents invariably siding with her. On my 22nd birthday, they even arranged for me to marry a vile old man for a business alliance. I was tortured to the brink of despair, ultimately leading to my tragic demise. Meanwhile, Lin Wan married into a prestigious family, living a life of luxury. Because of my sacrifice, the Lin group flourished. After my death, as no one mourned me, my spirit remained adrift, unable to reincarnate. It was only after a long while that I discovered the world I inhabited was a mere novel. I was but a pawn in Lin Wan's narrative. My discontent was profound. Due to the intensity of my resentment, fate granted me a second chance, along with a golden opportunity to rewrite the plot. This time, I shall compose a life that belongs to me, ensuring that every member of the Lin family pays the price. 3. Lin's parents took me and Lin Wan to the finest hotel in a city to meet the Zhao family. Lin's mother held Lin Wan's hand as they entered. She still possessed some skill, quickly placating Lin's mother that day. Lin's father repeatedly cautioned me, you must be mindful of your words and actions. Do not jeopardize the union between the Lin and Zhao families. I lowered my gaze, secretly devising ways to sabotage this meeting. My objective was to dismantle the Lin family. Should the Lin family align with the Zhao family, it would greatly complicate my plans. In the hotel private room sat a man whose striking handsomeness captivated me. With a straight nose adorned with gold-rimmed glasses, the enigmatic gaze concealed behind the lenses, and a perfectly sculpted jawline exuding undeniable nobility. He possessed an aura of cold detachment that seemed to defy worldly norms. This was none other than Lin Wan's fiance, Zhou Yan. He inclined his head slightly. Zhou Yan is currently abroad participating in a piano competition. I am here in his stead. Lin's father promptly smiled and shook his hand. It is even better that you are here, Mr. Zhou. It is an honor for Lin to meet you. He offered a slight smile, his gaze shifting to me. You must be Miss Lin Qian, correct? Yes, this is my daughter, Lin Qian. Lin's father made exaggerated gestures, signaling me to greet Mr. Zhou. Zhou Jia, Zhou Yan's uncle, the true head of the Zhou family. I began my self-introduction. Hello, I am Peppa Pig, but you may also call me Macapaka. Intrigued, he responded, Macapaka? What language is that? I was genuinely taken aback. You have never watched Teletubbies? Did you not have a childhood? Father Lin tugged at my sleeve, forcing a smile as he said, he grew up in the countryside and lacks refinement. Please do not take offense. Zhou Jinya cleared his throat lightly. Not at all. Miss Lin Qian is quite amusing. As we delved into the main topic at hand, it became evident that the Zhou family's intended union was with the Lin family's daughter, and previously, it was undoubtedly Lin Wan. With my return, however, the identity of the bride was uncertain. To be frank, I held no interest in Zhou Yan. Lin Wan, with tears welling in her eyes, lamented, Uncle, I truly love Brother Yan, but if my sister also has feelings, I am willing to graciously withdraw from the engagement. A shiver ran down my spine. Why did she have to use such nauseating terms? Lin's mother chimed in, Mr. Zhou, although Wanwan is not our biological child, she has been raised by us from a young age and received the best education, far superior to certain others. Zhou Jinya turned to me, Miss Lin Qian, what is your stance on this? I offered a slight smile, ready to commence my act. Rising to my feet, I sashayed over to Zhao and, amidst the stunned gazes of everyone present, settled onto his lap. With exaggerated grace, I tossed my hair and, embracing his neck, whispered sweetly into his ear. "May I propose a union with you?" His body stiffened, and to my surprise, his ears flushed crimson. I raised an eyebrow. Such innocence? Remarkable. This man had successfully piqued my interest. At that moment, a scene unfolded in my mind. Linwan dramatically covered her mouth and exclaimed, "Sister, how can you be so shameless?" I decided to alter covering her mouth to slapping her mouth. Thus, she began to smack her own mouth while exclaiming, "Sister, how can you be so shameless?" Lin's mother quickly intervened. "Wanwan, what on earth is wrong with you?" Linwan herself seemed bewildered by her actions, hastily lowering her hand. I'm sorry. I was just scared that Brother Yen wouldn't want me." While her words were initially pitiful, paired with her sausage-like lips, they inexplicably elicited humor. I couldn't help but laugh aloud. Meanwhile, Father Lin and Mother Lin wore grim expressions. Zhao abruptly stood up. "Ouch!" I stumbled, landing unceremoniously on my backside, casting him a resentful glance. He ignored me, his voice somewhat hoarse as he spoke. "I chose the Lin family as a prospective match because they are, at the very least, a reputable family. I never anticipated that their daughter would be like this. I hereby declare the engagement null and void." With that, the Lin family's parents desperately pleaded while I hastily exited the private room. Father Lin raised his hand at me. "It's all your fault, bringing disgrace upon our family." How could I have such a daughter? I sidestepped, seizing a glass of wine from the table and splashing it upon him. "Do you think I wanted to be your daughter? Let us sever our father-daughter ties right now." Mother Lin screeched, "Sever ties now. Don't come begging us to take you back later." Lin Wan, too, seemed eager for me to sever ties with the Lin family. Father Lin, now somewhat composed, scrutinized me for a moment. He took a deep breath, his expression darkening. "Let us head home." I knew his thoughts. He must be planning to marry me off to that old man from my past life. However, I was no longer the submissive Lin Qian of before. The day I anticipated arrived with remarkable swiftness. The scene replayed in my mind. Lin Qian, after consuming an unknown liquid, was hazily dressed up and sent into Su Chong's room. I resolutely decided to replace Lin Qian with Father Lin. Given the scandalous nature of the event, only a few were involved. Upon realizing the client was a man in his 50s, the makeup artist was understandably shocked. I smiled reassuringly. My father simply enjoys such games. It's a wealthy man's peculiar taste. The makeup artist displayed a knowing expression and diligently began her work. I witnessed Father Lin being carried into Su Chong's room, wearing a disturbingly ecstatic grin. Su Chong, after all, was indiscriminate in his pursuits. I picked up my phone and dialed 110, followed by a call to the most renowned news company in a city. "Interested in the untold secrets between the Lin and Su families? Where's the address?" The other party was eager. I smirked. "Me 5,000, and I'll tell you." Upon exiting the hotel, I spotted a Rolls-Royce parked at the entrance, with Zhao leaning against it. I feigned ignorance, intending to walk past him. Yet he reached out to stop me. "Your father's situation is your doing. And if it is, do you have a problem with that?" He hesitated before speaking. "Are they unkind to you? Is that why you harbor such resentment?" His gaze was filled with pity, which instantly made me uncomfortable. I despised such looks. I responded with a cold laugh. "Don't ask so many questions. I'm not at your service." He extended his hand toward me. Quick as a flash, I seized his wrist, eyeing him warily. "What do you intend to do?" His expression was somewhat convoluted as he replied, "Your hair is a bit disheveled." I adjusted my hair, preparing to leave. But he once again positioned himself in my way. "Is what you said that day still valid?" "Not valid," I stated emphatically. His eyes reddened slightly. His voice tinged with a hint of grievance. "So you intend to use me to ruin the union between Zhou Yan and Lin Wan. Once you're done, you discard me. Are you a heartless woman?" I stared at him, momentarily at a loss for words. This person's contrast was striking. "That day when you embraced me, I will take responsibility," he said earnestly, his face flushed. I silently regarded him, astonished that my revenge on the Lin family had unexpectedly won the heart of a handsome man. Yet I could not reciprocate at this moment. A twinge of guilt lingered within me. I softly replied, I'm sorry, but I'm not considering marriage at this time. I can assist you with whatever you need. I shook my head. No need. This is my own matter, and I can handle it. I waved my hand dismissively and walked away. Upon returning home, I opened Weibo. The Untold Secrets of Lin Jun and Su Chong. Breaking news. Lin Jun and Su Chong taken away by police. Breaking news. I scrolled through the comments from netizens. Both are men in their 50s, each with their own families. It's truly disgusting. I will never purchase products from these two companies again. I echo the sentiments above. How could they engage in such behavior? The barrage of scorn was overwhelming. I couldn't help but laugh. The Lin Corporation would undoubtedly suffer significant repercussions from this. I was thoroughly satisfied. Upon exiting the police station, Father Lin, still fuming and yet to address the company's matters, stormed toward me. Lin Xian, are you involved in this affair? Which affair? Yours with President Su? I replied languidly, while sipping on Sprite. Aren't you and President Su mutually enamored? What hidden truths remain? I then set down my drink and comforted him. Dad, society is quite open nowadays. Even if you two have something, there's no need to feel inferior. You. He was so enraged he could barely articulate his thoughts before turning to leave. This old man was losing his touch. I scoffed softly and continued to relish my joyful moments. Just as I was enjoying myself, two unwelcome guests arrived, Lin Wan and Zhou Yan. Zhou Yan rudely shouted at me. So you're Lin Qian? Who gave you the right to bully Wan Wan? Lin Wan, feigning fragility, implored, Brother Yan. Although she mistreats me, I'm fine. Please don't make things difficult for my sister. I regarded them with disdain. Get lost. I won't converse with the dim-witted. With that, I prepare to seek out more enjoyable company. As fate would have it, the plot thickened. Fu Yan dragged Lin Wan to confront me, furiously exclaiming, "What a boorish village woman." I decided to alter drag to tumble. Consequently, the two of them ended up rolling on the ground like balls right in front of me. Such an uncultured village woman. I stroked my chin and smiled faintly. Who is truly lacking in manners, rolling around on someone else's floor? Aren't you concerned about dirtying my floor? Did that scum of yours seek permission from the floor before rolling on it? The two of them scrambled to their feet, looking rather dejected. Fu Yan glared at me fiercely. It must be your doing. I shook my head innocently. How could I possibly harm you from such a distance? It's clear that you lack the ability to navigate such a broad path. I then displayed a middle finger at him. His face turned crimson with rage, trembling as he pointed at me, unable to utter a single word. Lin Wan felt embarrassed and tugged at his sleeve. Brother Yan, let's leave. Just as they prepared to depart, a deep voice resonated from the doorway. Stop.
It was Zhou Shia.
He approached my side. Are you all right? I shook my head. He turned to the other two, his tone severe. Yan, I have invested great effort in your upbringing, and this is how you repay me? Zhou Yan appeared like a schoolboy caught in wrongdoing before his uncle, lowering his head. No, uncle, it was Lin Qian who bullied Wan Wan. I leaned lazily against the doorframe, intrigued by the unfolding drama. Lin Wan played the role of the innocent. Uncle, I can understand my sister's coarse behavior. I'm fine. Zhou Xia let out a cold laugh. You haven't even set foot in my Zhou family's store, and your parents still need to respectfully address me as Mr.
Zhou.
Why do you have to call me uncle? Lin Wan, taken aback by his public reprimand, paled instantly. Zhou Yan, filled with concern, embraced her. Uncle, why would you say that about Wan Wan? She is the woman I cherish most. I would never marry Lin Qian. Oh. Zhou Xia raised an eyebrow. His tone as casual as discussing the weather. Then go die. Uncle. Zhou Yan's eyes widened in disbelief. You would say such a thing for that woman. He angrily dragged Lin Wan away. After they left, I chuckled nonchalantly. You didn't have to be like that. It's not because of you, but because that child is utterly impolite. I raised an eyebrow. I never claimed you were doing it for me. He paused, his face gradually turning red. A shy beauty? Indeed, quite captivating. Would you like to be Zhou Yan's aunt? Then you could better discipline him. I pondered for a moment. What you say is indeed quite intriguing. He gazed at me with anticipation. However, I pivoted my response, but I am unwilling. As I've mentioned before, I have no desire to marry at this moment. Very well. I respect your decision. He appeared somewhat saddened. What makes you like me? Was it love at first sight? I voiced my inner curiosity. He awkwardly replied, "That day when you said I had never watched Baby S. Garden. I looked it up when I got home and found it rather interesting. Thus, I believe you are an intriguing person." 6-8. Soon, university graduation exams approached. Unfortunately, Lin Wan and I attended the same university. I had a premonition that she was about to stir trouble again. On the day of the exam, I sat bored, staring at the paper before me. A few lines of drama unfolded. Lin Wan had sneakily acquired the answers beforehand and placed them in Lin Qian's desk pocket, then reported her for cheating. Quite simple. I merely changed Lin Qian to Lin Wan. Lin Wan stood up. "Teacher, I want to report that Lin Qian is hiding the exam answers." Upon uttering this, whispers erupted among the students. "Be quiet." The invigilator had to maintain order. I also stood up, a smirk on my lips. "You are slandering me." The students' discussions grew louder. "Wan Wan is our department's goddess. What is Lin Wan to dare accuse our goddess of framing her?" "Exactly, Goddess Lin is so kind. How could she ever frame someone? It must be Lin Qian who cheated. In my opinion, Lin Qian should be expelled." Hearing these words, Lin Wan grew even more conceited, declaring emphatically, "I swear, she truly cheated. The answers are hidden in her desk pocket." The invigilator was about to search my desk pocket. "Please wait, teacher." I stopped him and turned to Lin Wan. "You are so certain I cheated. What will you do if I am ultimately proven innocent?" She was convinced the answers were indeed with me. Thus, she boldly declared, "I will publicly apologize to you on the campus website and voluntarily withdraw from school." I couldn't help but marvel at her cleverness. I then shifted aside, allowing the invigilator to check. 3 minutes later, he announced, "There is nothing in Lin Qian's desk pocket." "This is impossible," Lin Wan shrieked. "I've always wondered why you are so certain I cheated, and why you are so agitated now. Could it be that the answers in my desk were placed there by you, and are now mysteriously missing for some reason?" The students began to regard her with suspicion. Realizing her slip, she adjusted her expression and forced a smile. "Of course not. I merely wished to uncover the truth." The invigilator waved her off, indicating for her to cease speaking, wishing to settle the matter. "Since this is a misunderstanding, let us put it to rest." I smiled. Since Lin Wan is so confident that someone cheated, I too believe her. "I suggest we search every student's desk pocket." I turned to Lin Wan, our eyes locking. Upon seeing the smile at the corner of my mouth, she understood something, her complexion paling. "Let us start with Lin Wan." She, no longer concerned with maintaining any facade, clutched her desk pocket tightly. "No, I object." The students were not fools. They noticed her unusual behavior and began to speculate. "Lin Wan, if you are truly innocent, why are you afraid to allow a search?" One person shouted. I urged, "Hurry or you won't be the kind, gentle goddess in the eyes of the students any longer." The students. Lin Wan bit her lip, tears welling in her eyes, standing frozen. 2 boys, impatient, pulled her aside and reached into her pocket, retrieving 2 answer sheets. "The cheater is Lin Wan. It's not me. I didn't do it. It must be Lin Qian framing me." She desperately tried to explain, but this time, few believed her. I leisurely remarked, "What truly transpired can be determined by reviewing the surveillance footage." The invigilator attempted to stop us, but the situation had escalated beyond his control. We all clamored to the surveillance room. The footage showed clearly Lin Wan had sneaked into the office at midnight to steal the answers, then stealthily placed them in her own desk pocket. The news spread rapidly, igniting the anger of all. In university, such matters were taken quite seriously. Students demanded that Lin Wan be dealt with severely according to school regulations. Faced with public pressure, the university had no choice but to expel her. Upon returning home, Lin's parents were chastising Lin Wan. "Your actions have spread throughout the entire circle. You have truly brought shame upon us." I hummed a tune, cheerfully retreating to my room. Today marks Lin's father's 55th birthday. All the prominent families of City A attended the banquet. Due to the recent school incident, they had been quite cold towards Lin Wan these days. "Wan Wan, I hope you will conduct yourself well and not disappoint us again." She clenched her fists and nodded. "Mom and Dad, I will not let you down this time." Then, she furtively glared at me. I let out a cold laugh. I wasn't sure that they faced dire consequences. The banquet commenced. Lin Wan and Zhou Yan performed a piano piece together, earning resounding applause. The smiles on Lin's parents' faces were impossible to conceal. These two children are indeed a perfect match, a veritable union made in heaven, someone remarked. Lin Wan approached, cradling a red brocade box. With a sweet smile, she said, "Father, this is a gift that Brother Yen and I prepared especially for you. Wishing you blessings as vast as the eastern sea and longevity that rivals the southern mountains." The plot thickened. Inside the brocade box was a statue of the god of wealth, crafted from mutton-fat jade, exquisite and delicate, worth a fortune. Everyone praised Lin Wan's filial piety. I decided to transform the god of wealth into the Grim Reaper. Lin's father chuckled, "You two children are truly thoughtful. Let me see what splendid gift you have prepared for me." Upon opening it, his expression altered dramatically. Zhou Yan, oblivious, continued to gloat, "Uncle Lin, this statue was personally commissioned by Wanwan to convey our heartfelt wishes to you." Lin's father's face darkened further. Someone squeezed forward to see what it was, then gasped, "It's a statue of the Grim Reaper from Western fairy tales." Lin Wan and Zhou Yan froze. They rushed over to snatch the brocade box away. Upon seeing its contents, Lin Wan's legs buckled, and she collapsed to the ground. "Father, this isn't what it seems. I never intended to curse you. I clearly ordered a statue of the god of wealth." She knelt before Lin's father, tears streaming down her face. "Dad, it must be that the workers misheard my request. You must believe me." Her words were incoherent. Silence. Lin's father admonished in a low voice. He then raised his head and forced a smile at the guests. "Everyone, please enjoy yourselves and disregard these trivial matters." However, the guests, sensing the tension, discreetly departed. Once everyone had left, Lin's father sprang up and slapped Lin Wan hard. "Do you have any idea that, because of you, the Lin family will become the laughingstock of City A?" Lin's mother chimed in, disappointment lacing her voice. "Ever since Qian returned, you have changed completely. No longer the gentle and sensible Wanwan we knew." Lin Wan wept bitterly. "Mom and Dad, please give me another chance. I will surely bring you honor." Lin's father sighed. "You have been by our side since childhood, receiving the best education. I thought this would make you better, but it seems it cannot overcome the royal blood that runs deep within you. And Qian is our biological daughter. Though she grew up in the countryside and behaves rather unrefined, she has never committed any major blunders. It appears that bloodlines indeed hold significant weight. From tomorrow onward, you shall return to your own home." Lin Wan cried and pleaded, but the elder Lin couple was resolute, and she was forcibly taken away. Reflecting on my past life while observing her current plight, I felt a sense of exhilaration. My next target was the Lin group. One day, as I was walking along the road, I was suddenly grabbed, a hand covering my mouth and nose, and dragged away. Without a doubt, it was Lin Wan who had orchestrated my abduction. The kidnappers brought me to a cliff, and Lin Wan approached me wielding a knife. Her face twisted in rage. "Lin Qian, this is all because of you. Why did you return?" The plot intensified once more. I chose not to look, for I had no desire to alter the course of events. This time, I would take my revenge personally, unassisted by any external resources. I smiled clearly. "You are outclassed yet still wish to contest with me. Is this not a self-inflicted humiliation?" Her eyes blazed red, clearly teetering on the brink of madness. "This is all your fault. Once you are dead, Mom and Dad will surely notice me again." She then commanded the kidnappers, "Throw this woman off the cliff." I looked at the two kidnappers. "You have a father, don't you? A mother as well. Have you considered their feelings?" They stared at me in terror. "You investigated us?" I chuckled. Fortune favored me. Merely speaking offhandedly, I found they indeed had parents. They hesitated, unwilling to act rashly. Lin Wan, in a frenzy, shouted, "Don't listen to her nonsense. Hurry up and throw her down." I persuaded them gently. "I have instructed my subordinates that if I die, they will kill your parents. But as long as you untie me, I promise not to harm them." They truly released me and turned to Lin Wan, saying, "Sorry, miss. While you have indeed given us much, family is far more important." They then bolted. With a mad grin, I advanced toward Lin Wan. She recoiled in fear. "Don't come any closer." I pushed her off the cliff. Her screams echoed through the valley, yet I felt a sense of joy. Perhaps I had truly lost my sanity. After a moment, I took the initiative to dial 110. The police took me in and, upon investigation, They discovered that Lin Wan had initiated the kidnapping, declaring my actions self-defense. Stepping out of the police station, I took a deep breath and spoke to my past self. Do not fear, you shall no longer live that life. In the aftermath of this incident, the Lin family swiftly released a statement disavowing any connection to Lin Wan. They looked at me with moist eyes. You are now our only child, and the future of the Lin family rests solely in your hands. I smiled silently. Does the Lin family even have a future? In a cafe, I met with a stunning woman. After our conversation, I found her quite satisfactory. Let me ask you one last time. Are you truly willing to seduce Lin Jun? She replied resolutely, Miss, I have made my decision. I nodded. This woman was remarkably capable. Within 2 months, she had Lin's father utterly captivated. He had not returned home for 3 consecutive days. Lin's mother, both anxious and furious, declared, I must expose that little vixen. How dare she seduce my husband? After breaking through this barrier, Lin's father completely surrendered, bringing the woman home. Lin's mother, enraged, suffered a heart attack and was hospitalized. The woman asked me, he is currently completely unguarded. May I proceed to the next step?
Yes.
The following day, she stealthily extracted confidential materials from the Lin family. After arranging everything for her departure, I sold the materials to Shia. He did not disappoint me, seizing the opportunity to acquire Lin's company at a bargain during the chaos. Upon learning the full details, Lin's father was so enraged that he could not catch his breath and died on the spot. Lin's mother, upon hearing the news, saw her previously improving conditions suddenly deteriorate and fell into a coma. The doctors declared she might remain in a vegetative state for the rest of her life. Witnessing this outcome, I felt a sense of satisfaction. That evening, Shia proposed to me. You've completed what needed to be done. From now on, be my Mrs. Zhao. I acquiesced. Suddenly, a thought struck me. What about Zhou Yan? He has been sent abroad, never to return. We held an extravagant wedding. One morning, I awoke to find him had prepared breakfast. I smiled, pulling out a chair. Last night I was watching videos and saw a handsome guy. He grew jealous. Is he more handsome than me? I teased him. He is younger than you. After all, you are 10 years my senior, dear uncle. Suddenly, he scooped me up and carried me toward the bedroom. I believe we need to have a child soon. This way, you won't feel burdened by my aging. Remembering what had transpired the previous night, fear gripped me. Was it still possible to express regret now?
The end.
Thank you for listening. Until our next story, farewell.